Time to talk government in Connecticut. I am Mark Stewart. It is July 1st, the start of a new fiscal year. And in Connecticut, it bodes for being a very bad fiscal year because of all the promises that we have made not being rescinded. It might be hard. The stupidity is making the promises in the first place. And all the new virtually entitlements because of COVID. Okay? People expecting checks. That's going to continue. Today, every state employee gets a raise. Okay? Even though we're in an economic crisis. Now, Governor Lamont has said, I'm unwilling to do anything about it. And I can't blame him. Okay? He's used emergency powers for other things. He's not going to do it here. And he shouldn't have to. What should have happened is not to have this kind of contract approved in the first place. That was in 2017. It was approved pretty much on a party line vote. So, hard to blame Republicans. I do still a little bit. Okay? They opposed. Okay? Pretty much lockstep. They opposed the earlier Malloy increase, but we're stuck with a free spending, mostly Democrat legislature. The condemnation I have, it's mild, because it takes something extraordinary to be a good Republican leader, to act on your principles even outside of legislation, to be out there, to be on radio, to be writing editorials, to be talking about it in the workplace, which I've met legislators, they do have careers outside of their $28,000 a year job in the Capitol. And so I believe that the fiscal discourse is more important at the water cooler than sports. Because sports, though they're entertaining, and I love talking sports, and I love watching sports, but our lives, our livelihoods are bettered or worsened in the political realm. And it does affect every one of us. So a real leader is one who is leading outside of the halls of the state capitol, outside of the LOB adjacent to the state capitol. That's what we should expect of our leaders. Now, I am part of a party that is dedicated to doing just that. If elected, we don't slink away from the campaign. Okay? Literally, it's an ongoing campaign. It is like U.S. Grant, who never freaking let up. That is why he is our greatest general. Purposefulness, he had orders, and he kept on, kept on, kept on. He might not have even liked his orders to kill fellow countrymen who had seceded. Connecticut needs a campaign that is ongoing. It doesn't end in November with victories or losses. The discourse to move the public is essential, because if the public is not being moved, legislators can do what they want. That is why the Democrats have kept so much power, because the only ones who are really talking to the legislatures are the vested interests. The unions have vested interests, and they've gotten their way pretty darn much because the rest of us slink away, because we're content to be in election season, and it's over. It can't be over. We need vigilance, because without the people standing up for what is right now a very few fiscal conservatives, okay? Very few. Because even the Republicans often are spending. The giveaways that we have done over the last 70 years are going to be really hard to undo. And look, credit in the last couple years, Dan Malloy, who reined in the number of state employees. He did at that point what he had to do. It's time Republicans did more than Dan Malloy. It's time that they are out there saying, why the right level of spending is nearly zero. Nearly zero. There are very few necessary services that are best done by the state. Okay? You want to claim that education is one of them? I will dispute you, but even if you go that route, we're at a $9 billion a year budget, not 23. You compare, as I have proposed, literally 14 billion of the $23 billion that we spend. Trim them. You can get it down to 9. You want to whack education and privatize it as well, which I think would make for better services to our kids. You're down to about 4. We can afford 4.